Coming up next,
right there.
Senior Kiara Dial. Coming up next, Senior Jordan Harris. And our final cheerleading senior, down the walkway next are the senior varsity basketball players. Coming out first, senior number 1, Vernon Mantos. Coming out next, number 2, Marcus Sanford. Walking out next, senior number 3, Tyler. Number 4, John Carbone. Here he comes, senior number 21, Xavier. Our final senior tonight, number 22, Mackie. Please make some noise for all of the seniors from both the cheerleaders and the varsity boys basketball team. The starting lineups. First, for the visiting Bears. A senior, number 3, Dalton Smith. A junior, number 11, Adrian Marinella. A sophomore, number 20, Chris Stevens. A senior, number 21, Hunter Gordon. And a senior, number 35, Matthew Martin. The Bears are coached by Mike Williams. And now, the starting lineup for your Norristown Eagles. A 5'8" senior, number 4, John Carbone. A 6-foot senior, number 3, Tyler. A 6-foot senior, number 21, Xavier. A 6-foot senior, number 2, Marcus Sanford. And a 6'4" senior, number 22, Your Eagles are coached by Mr. P.T. Johnson.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Norristown High School Gymnasium for the final regular season matchup tonight for the Norristown High School Eagles. I'm Ian Morris, pleased to be with you. On the line for the Eagles tonight is a championship for the Pac-10. They come in with a record of 17-4, 7-2 in the division, and a win tonight will give them the outright Pac-10 championship based on the tiebreaker with Brook Valley and Methacton. We are underway now at the high school as Boyertown comes out in the matchup zone. Norristown with a senior-laden lineup, considering it is senior night. John Carbone in the lineup. Normally comes off the bench. Aaron Reddish, he'll fill that void tonight. Carbone with the ball top of the key, swings to Sanford, gets it back. As Boyertown active outside the perimeter. Carbone in an opportunity 3, passed it up. Very patient first offensive set for the Eagles tonight. Now there's Sanford on the wing. He's double-teamed. Gets it to Allen in the corner. Allen cross-court to Carbone. Open 3. Up. No good. Tip comes back out, and it's going to be a scrum on the floor. Coming up with the ball, it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of Boyertown. So Eagles empty on their first opportunity offensively. Boyertown, their first chance to crack the scoreboard. Eagles, as they have pretty much all season, pressure the basketball and normally let up on that pressure once they cross half court, and sure enough, here we go. Eagles play man-to-man D, and overplaying them. There was Lyons. It's going to lead to an open jumper, and the first 2 points of the game go to Boyertown. 2-0 Bears. Here's Sanford with the basketball to Edwards. Barks out instructions to his teammates. Edwards gets Carbone, missed the 3 earlier. Now an open 3 in the corner for Lions. Corner up, no good. Tipped, it comes down to Boyertown. So bounce pass ahead and in transition with a layup is number 21, Hunter Borgman. So a couple of quick baskets for Boyertown, and they lead 4-0 just a minute and a half in. McKeel Allen in the corner to Carbone. Now Marcus Sanford, as the Eagles have gotten 2 looks from beyond the arc on their first 2 possessions, but been kept off the offensive glass and yet to score. Now McKeel Allen in the short corner outside to Sanford. Sanford to Carbone. Carbone nearly traveled. Gets it back out to Edwards. Eagles have a little bit of trouble getting the open look and nearly a turnover. Sanford in the short corner, double-teamed. Edwards lost it, gets it back, and they're going to get a travel. As Edwards lost it, gathered it back, but was on the floor, and they're going to call a traveling violation on the Eagles, and it'll be Boyertown basketball. So sloppy start for the Eagles. These two teams, of course, met a little over a month ago in Boyertown. Eagles romped their way to a 21-point victory. And again, a victory here means outright championship for the Eagles. So we got a little touch foul about 37 feet away from the basket. See if the referees are going to make it very clear this game is going to be tightly called. So here's Boyertown leading 4-0. A little more than 2 minutes in, and we're going to have a traveling violation as Dawson Smith went up, came back down with it before releasing the basketball, and a turnover on the Bears. Xavier Edwards at the helm, gets it to Carbone. Edwards, top of the key. Not a lot of movement right now for Norristown. They get the ball to McKeel Allen in the short corner. Great touch pass underneath Sanford, layup up and in. Tremendous ball movement there by the Eagles as they finally are on the scoreboard. And it's 4-2 Bears, more pressure D by the Eagles. And the ball is tipped out of bounds, last touch by Xavier Edwards. And we have our first substitution as Aaron Salata is going to check into the game for Boyertown. Edwards guards Borgman. Borgman, nice baseline move, gets the layup to go. And a quick move by Hunter Borgman, the senior forward, and it's 6-2 Bears. Now Edwards finds Sanford. Sanford traveled. So Sanford, in between the pass and the shot, shuffles his feet. And another turnover on Norristown. And Boyertown will inbound the ball sideline right. Tremendous crowd on hand tonight. Senior night, nice light show. Seniors are honored prior to the game. Here's Boyertown with a 4-point lead. And we're going to have steps there as once again Dawson Smith says my bad as he shuffled his feet, and another turnover as both teams a little sloppy offensively. And Norristown now is going to send Aaron Reddish into the game as he will spell senior John Carbone. And so for the first time tonight, Norristown has their original starting five on the court. And we'll see if Reddish can spur on this stagnant Eagle offense during the first 3 minutes. Now McKeel Allen with an opportunity. Bounce past Lyons, passed up to three. Jump stop, great pass to McKeel Allen, reverse layup up and in. Good unselfish look by Lyons, found it. Or found his teammate McKeel Allen underneath the basket, and the reverse layup was good, and the Eagles trail by two. It's 6-4 Bears. Now steal by Sanford, but he steps out of bounds. Pressure defense starting to get to Boyertown as Marcus Sanford just a hair away from an unabated layup. Mason Marinello inbound for Boyertown. And this Eagle defense, which at times can be suffocating, will look to try to create some turnovers now. As Tyler Lyons, there's Aaron Reddish, guarding a big man. Stays with him. And a good pass underneath. Little 6-footer, no good. Rebound comes down to McKeel Allen. Runs ahead, and it's going to lead to a layup by Marcus Sanford. Marcus Sanford, he saw the writing on the wall with McKeel Allen coming down with that rebound. He leaked ahead, and he got him a layup, and now another turnover. And this is Norristown basketball now as they create turnovers, get out in transition, and a flurry of baskets can bury you quickly. Right now, just a 6-6 game, and taking an eye off the ball there was Tyler Lyons, and a turnover on the Eagles. Nazir Kenny, he'll check into the game now for Edwards. Nazir Kenny's been a key contributor off the bench. The sophomore has an inside-outside game, and sometimes when the Eagles need some offense, he is Johnny on the spot. So here are the Bears as Hunter Borgman, guarded closely by Aaron Reddish. Bears swing it to the corner, driving baseline. And we're going to get a foul, or we're going to get a... Looks like we're going to get a foul. Or perhaps it was out of bounds, last touch by the Eagles. No signal by the referees. Makes it difficult for a guy like me who is simple. Nevertheless, Boyertown basketball, they inbound it. As it is Aaron Salak in the corner driving baseline in no man's land, but somehow found Christopher Kiefer underneath. And where it looked like there was no room to feed the basketball to his teammate, they found a way, and Boyertown back on top 8-6. And Norristown now looking top of the key for the lead. Got it. Tyler Lyons buries the three from the top of the key, and the Eagles have their first lead of the night. It's 9-8 with 2 minutes and 31 seconds to play here in the first. And Hunter Borgman shuffled his feet. And another substitution now for both sides. But good help defense there by McKeel Allen leads to another turnover by Boyertown, as it looks like Boyertown is set on letting their bigs make moves out top to try to create some offense. Now the Eagles with a 1-point lead on the basketball. In the short corner, the jumper up, no good. Allen, offensive rebound, he's hacked from behind. And he'll go to the free throw line for a pair. McKeel Allen playing in his final senior regular season game, as he has been a stalwart on the offensive and defensive boards his junior and senior years. Does the dirty work for the Eagles underneath. And a much improved free throw shooter from his junior year to his senior year. Second free throw for Allen. It is up, and it is strong. The rebound comes down to Nazir Kenny. Kenny on the block gets it out to Lyons. Lyons, who hit a three a minute ago, will set the Eagles' offense up. They find Allen. Allen puts the ball on the on the floor, finds Aaron Reddish. Aaron is quickly covered. Now Lyons. And deflected out of bounds. Last touch by Boyertown. State Eagle basketball. So Xavier Edwards is going to check McKeel Allen. Give the senior forward a short rest, I'm sure, with just 1:52 to play here in this first quarter. Eagles lead 10-8. Now Lyons trying to break down the defense. Layup up, no good. Good box out by Chris Kiefer. And the Boyertown Bears with an opportunity to tie or take the lead with a three. And we're going to have another shuffling of the feet. No, they're going to call a foul. That referee was not in position, as from this angle, clearly Aaron Salata shuffled his feet. Should have been a traveling call, but they're going to get a Norristown foul prior to that. Just a second team foul on the Eagles. And Mason Marinello will inbound the basketball for the Bears. Again, the Eagles in a man-to-man. Very athletic team, can afford to switch on just about any pick. And nearly a steal, and no, it is a steal. Willie Anderson comes up with a loose ball, and the sophomore leads the charge for the Eagles. Cross court to nobody. And Willie, a bit confused as to who he's passing the ball to. It ended up being a bench player for Boyertown. So another turnover on the Eagles as Sanford into the game for Willie Anderson. Teaching moment now for Coach Binky Johnson talking to Willie Anderson. Ball's deflected out of bounds, and it's going to be Eagle basketball as the pressure put on Salata leads to another Boyertown turnover. And the Eagle defense has turned up the heat over the course of the last couple of minutes here, as it's been tough going offensively for Boyertown. Just 8 points so far. Eagles just with 10. Big opportunity. Reddish in the corner. The three is up. No good. Would have thought that one would go, but Reddish going to create a steal, gets it to his teammate, Nazir Kenny, with a Euro step, layup up, no good. But he will go to the free throw line, all created by the hustle by Aaron Reddish. Normally money from the corner couldn't get the three to go, but Reddish hustled, got the possession back for the Eagles, and Nazir Kenny, with an aggressive move to the hoop, he'll be rewarded with a pair of free throws, as we are under a minute to play here in the first. Kenny's first free throw is strong. So Carbone back into the game. Seniors played sparingly for the Eagles over the course of the year, but Binky Johnson wants to reward the effort that the young man has made during the course of the year with some meaningful minutes right now. 1-2 at the line for Kenny. And Boyertown breaks the press rather easily, but they throw it away as they had a 2-on-1 opportunity. Unable to handle it was Metcalf, and now an opportunity for the Eagles. Reddish going to take it himself. Thought he was driving some contact, and no call. Reddish looks like he got hit in the face, and they're going to say it was last touched by Reddish, and he'll have to get back on defense. I think Reddish a little upset there was no foul calls. It certainly looked like there was some contact. Now Boyertown quick in transition, and they're going to get an open layup, but missing the layup was number 21, Hunter Borgman. Nobody around, but he missed the bunny. Now the Eagles, under 30 seconds to play, and it looks like they may hold for one and be content with a minimum 3-point lead after 8 minutes of play. And that certainly looks to be the case as we now have just 20 seconds to play. As Edwards, looking for a pick, hands it back off to Sanford. 12 seconds in the corner. Carbone, cross court, throws it away. So it's going to be Boyertown with a last look as Salata is going to have to get it up quickly. Takes it to the hoop, and the layup is up and good, and that's how the end of the quarter is going to go. As a turnover by the Eagles leads to a layup on the other end. And in a game that you thought might be a laugher, when you look at the records on paper, after 8 minutes of play, just a narrow 1-point lead for the Eagles. We'll be right back.
Here come the cheerleaders, accompanied by the Norristown Area High School drum line. Make some noise for the cheerleaders. Don't forget to support their efforts. They are selling 50 raffle tickets and bake foods to help pay for their trip to nationals next week in sunny Orlando in 5 days.
About ready to start this second quarter after another flawless routine by the Norristown Area High School cheerleaders, who again are on their way to Orlando in just a couple of days. Couple fundraisers going on, one particularly at the Green Turtle next week, as the Eagle cheerleaders stand out amongst the best. So we're ready to start the second quarter. The Eagles with just a narrow 1-point lead. A team they blew out just more than a month ago in a game that has everything on the line. You got to think the Eagles are going to start to put it together here at some point and run away. But now they're going to get open three. Reddish from the wing. It's up. It's short. And the rebound is up and in by Xavier Edwards. As the three by Reddish was short, now the Eagles are looking to press. But a good pass is going to lead to a breakout, but tip from behind and a steal. And are we going to get a walk, or are we going to get a foul? No. We're going to get a traveling violation. Binky Johnson can't believe it. It sure looked like Edwards was shoved from behind. Instead, it's going to be a traveling violation, and the referee is hearing it from the crowd, and I got to tell you, he should be, as it was a clear illegal block in the back, which obviously is a football term, but certainly a foul there on Boyertown. Regardless, it's Boyertown with the basketball. They trail by 3, just a minute into this second quarter. Saletta guarded closely by Xavier Edwards. Tries to do it himself. Now hands off to Borgman. Borgman to Marinello. Marinello underneath to Borgman and taken away. Edwards, 1-on-4, pulls up from 14 feet and got it to go. And we're going to get a quick timeout as Mike Ludwig doesn't like the way momentum's flowing so far in this second quarter. And it's just going to be a 30-second timeout, so we're going to stay with you. As the Eagles led 11-10, but 2 quick baskets. And Coach Binky Johnson has dialed up the pressure so far defensively in this second half. and it's led to a couple turnovers and a couple transition opportunities for the Eagles. And before this one gets away, Mike Ludwig wants to try to stop the bleeding before it gets any worse. As we mentioned earlier, you look at the standings in the Pac-10, the Eagles, Methacton, and Perkiomen Valley all stand at 7-2 in the league. The Eagles, should they win tonight, will be 8-2, but they hold the tiebreaker over Methacton and PV and would be considered the outright champs of the Pac-10. So out of the timeout, as Borgman nearly shuffled his feet, nearly another turnover. No. Getting it back was Borgman, and now we have traveling at just across midcourt. As this pressure defense is causing fits for the Bears right now, and the Eagles with another opportunity to grow this 5-point lead. Xavier Edwards, solid offensively, solid defensively. Return to the Eagles from North Carolina this past year, and he gets the friendly. Oh, I thought he got the friendly roll. Instead, the rebound comes down, is tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Eagles. And thought that was going to fall as it danced on the rim, but just trickled off. And Tyler Lyons going to check back into the game for Aaron Reddish. Reddish has missed a couple of threes. He's normally money in the bank when he has an open look, but missed a pair so far. And picking his pocket there is Xavier Edwards. Edwards, it's a layup dunk. I'm not sure what we'll call that. As it rolled off his hands, we'll call it 2 points. How about that? 17-10 Eagles, 2 minutes in. And the pressure defense has caused problems again for the Bears, but they do get an open three in the corner. And nailing the three is Mason Marinello. And that stops the bleeding a bit for the Bears, as that draws them within 4. Allen, reverse layup, rejected. Kenny, Johnny on the spot, misses the rebound. And it's going to be Boyertown basketball, as Kenny in a prime opportunity for an offensive putback, but he left the layup short, and Boyertown will have another opportunity. I tell you, the Eagles, it's been feast or famine defensively, as they've either gotten turnovers or Boyertown has gotten layups or open looks. And here's another layup. So the story stays the same, as a layup by Saletta draws Boyertown within 2, 17-15. Now Allen out top to Edwards. On the wing to Sanford, back to Edwards. They swing the Lions. Lions going to drive baseline, but he's held. Fouls on Chris Kiefer. Second on Kiefer. I before E, except after seeing that last name. And inside now, Kenny finds Lyons. Lyons, pull up 17-footer, got it. Nice move by Tyler Lyons. He buries the jumper, and it is a 19-15 Eagle lead. And what nearly was looking like a turnover, and it is a turnover. Sanford in the corner, Lyons. Lyons thought about the shot before he caught it. Takes it strong to the hoop. Can't get it to go, but he'll go to the free throw line for a pair. As Lyons took a little contact to the shoulder there as he's trying to loosen up here. The Lions, maybe that shoulder's bothering more than we know, as barely drew iron with the first free throw. And some substitutions again now for Boyertown. So Lions looking to get 1 out of 2 on this trip. The Eagles have been a good free throw shooting team most of the year. Struggled a little bit tonight, but Lions does get the second one to go. And it is a 20-15 Eagle lead. Here comes Boyertown. Corner 3, up. No good. Rebound comes down to Edwards. He looks ahead. Kenny, throw it down, big fella. Nazir Kenny got the outlet pass from Edwards. And the right-hand flush gets the crowd into a frenzy. And Norristown now with their largest lead of the game at 7, 22-15. Still a buzz in the crowd from the flush by Nazir Kenny. We got 4:26 to play here in the second. It's a 22-15 Norristown lead. That ball's deflected out of bounds. It'll stay Bear basketball. So Boyertown inbounds the ball, basketball. They inbound the basketball, baseline right. Norristown content with this man-to-man defense. And they're going to get a flashing look to the basket by Matthew Martin. He was hacked from behind. As you can see there, this Boyertown team, they will play physical, and some physical solid picks there. Created an offensive opportunity and a clean look for Matthew Martin. And he was fouled hard, and that's one thing you want to do. You're going to foul him, make sure they can't get the ball up. For some reason, they're not going to say he was in the act of shooting. I got to tell you, that's appalling. But it works out for Boyertown as Norristown falls asleep, as Hunter Borgman found himself all alone underneath the basket on the inbounds, and that can't happen. I think Norristown was surprised there was no free throws coming. Now Lyons has an open three from the wing. It's up. It is in and out. McKeel Allen fighting for the rebound and fighting a little too hard as he's going to be called for a foul. Came down to Matthew Martin. And just 14 fouls apiece. But I think it's safe to say the referees are calling this one rather tightly. And Boyertown now trailing by 5, and we have another traveling violation. Said that a lot tonight as the pressure by the Eagles causes Dawson Smith to shuffle the feet. Under 4 minutes to play. Allen in the corner gets it out to Lyons. Back to Allen. He'll make a move to the basket. Layup up and good. Too strong is McKeel Allen on that one. And Boyertown nearly had some trouble inbounding the basketball. But effective passing, they get it across the timeline. Now they'll look to get a look. As Dawson Smith throws it in the corner. 3 up. Nearly an air ball. Tracked down by Lyons. And ahead of Sanford. Who's he going to give it up to? Edwards. And again, we're going to call that a layup. The hand touches the rim. The ball goes through the hoop. But we're not going to call that a dunk. And Aaron Reddish took a chance going for the steal. It's going to lead to an opportunity now for the Bears. And a corner 11-foot jump shot is up and in for Matthew Martin. Good ball movement there by the Bears. Reddish went for the steal, couldn't get it. So Boyertown had numbers. Still a 7-point Norristown lead. And we're going to have a jump ball as McKeel Allen took it to the hoop. Got tied up. Possession arrow in favor of Boyertown. Back into the game for the Eagles is going to be Willie Anderson, who had a short spell in the first, but was quickly taken out of the game after a turnover in transition. He'll get a chance here to make amends. But Boyertown bakes the press easily. Open 3 in the corner is up, in and out. Anderson comes down with a rebound. And as always, the Eagles look to run. Now Tyler Lyons got hit with on the arm, and before he could make a move, it'll be the 15th foul on Boyertown. 2 away from the Eagles being in the bonus. And the Eagles will inbound the basketball baseline left. We got 2 minutes and 44 seconds to play here in the second. Norristown's been nip and tuck most of this game, but they have a 7-point lead now. McKeel Allen might have got away with a walk. No, he didn't. Late on the whistle was the referee, but the correct call as McKeel Allen with a jump stop, and another step leads to a turnover. So the Eagles will stay with this press as it's worked to their benefit. And they dial off the pressure right now. Now they'll play their simple man-to-man defense. And Lyons steps behind the pick. Saletta nearly lost it, got it back. And they're going to get a foul on Willie Anderson. Saletta looked like he was more out of control there, but Willie Anderson reaching in, tried to tie him up. And must have got a piece of the wrist. And we're safe to say Aaron Saletta was in the act of shooting for this one, so he will have 2 free throws. First one's up and good. And again, Bears frequent a lot of substitutions, we should say. as he wants to keep fresh bodies on the court. As they fought hard, just down 6 with 2:24 to play here in this second quarter. 1 of 2 at the free throw line, and Kenny the first to it. And it'll be Edwards with the basketball to lead the charge for the Eagles. Edwards to Willie Anderson. Anderson back to Edwards. You got Reddish. Gets the basketball. Taking it himself. Layup up and good. Nice left-hand layup by Aaron Reddish. His first field goal of the night. And an 8-point lead for the Eagles. Deflected out of bounds. It'll stay Bear basketball. And once again, head coach Mike Ludwig not wasting any time, giving his players short stints out there, 45 seconds a minute. Stay fresh, stay active. Under 2 minutes to play. It's an 8-point Eagle lead. As Hunter Borgman, guarded closely by Edwards, behind the back, still 30 feet away from the basket, not a threat. Now taking the ball to the hoop, as Salata tried to draw the foul, and he did. As Eric Salata does a nice job of drawing contact. I think he embellishes it, but he does it in a way where it does look like a foul. And all of a sudden, 16 fouls on the Eagles. So Salata, who just hit 1 of 2 from the free throw line a few seconds ago, is back there again for a pair. His first free throw is up, and it is good. Second free throw for Salata is up, and it is strong again. So again, 1 of 2 at the free throw line as Edwards looks to push it for the Eagles. Into the game now for the Eagles is Sam Etheridge. And a little no-look there to Edwards. Edwards not in a real great offensive position. As just 1:20 to play. Now Edwards throws it away, but gets it back. And tries to throw it underneath to Etheridge. Etheridge layup up and good. As an excellent job by Sam Etheridge to gather the pass, keep his cool, and get the layup to go. Eagles with their biggest lead of the game, 30-21. And head coach Mike Ludwig is going to call timeout as he senses that momentum shift again. Just a 30-second timeout, so again, we will stay with you. As the Eagles, who trailed for most of the first quarter of the game, took a lead late in that quarter, and they've kept the Bears at bay and slowly extended this lead to its maximum right now, which is 9. Eagles come in tonight with a record of 17-4. In the district-run power rankings, they are ranked number 4, as they have been as high as 1. But a couple tough losses in recent weeks. A last-second loss at home here to Perkiomen Valley. And then a thrashing at the hands of crosstown rival Methacton a little more than a week ago. Sometimes a beating like that can have a positive effect on a team and remind you, stay humble. So the Eagles now on defense, they lead by 9. And Boyertown tries to cut into this lead, under a minute to play. In the corner is Kiefer. Underneath, off the side of the backboard, no good. Rebound comes down to the Eagles. Reddish nearly lost it. Hands it off to Edwards. Edwards in the corner. Tries to get it to Allen, and it's tipped away, and grabbing his Etheridge for the Eagles. And Boyertown up in arms that there was not a traveling violation there, as the entire coaching staff was off their seats. Can't believe there wasn't a call, but now an opportunity for the Eagles to hold for the last shot. Reddish, top of the key, Sanford gets it inside the Reddish. Reddish, shot up, no good. Last touch by Boyertown with 10 seconds left. So with 10 seconds left, the Eagles another opportunity try to extend this 9-point lead. And Kenny's going to check into the game for Reddish. Reddish doesn't quite look himself tonight. Maybe the fact that he was not in the starting lineup, not a disciplinary thing. Obviously, Coach Pinky Johnson wanted to get the seniors in there. 4 seconds left now, and it's going to have to be Edwards. Edwards hit hard, no call, but now we do get a call, as it looked like the initial contact wasn't called, but after he couldn't get the layup to go, there was a little bit of contact there. But who cares? He's going to line for 2. Just 0.5 seconds left on the clock. So for all intents and purposes, what happens here is how this half is going to end. Edwards' first free throw. He gets the friendly roll. Missed it, got it back. Did he get it up in time? He did, but he couldn't get it to go. Amazing hustle by Xavier Edwards to read the bounce off the rim, but he could not get the layup to go. But regardless, 1 or 2 at the line will leave the Eagles with their largest lead. They led by 1 after 1. They lead by 10 after 2. And they are 16 minutes away from being Pac-10 champions as we head to head time. And welcome back, folks. We're just about ready to start this third quarter, which sees the Eagles leading the Boyertown Bears 31-21, and we are underway. And again, the Eagles with a win tonight will be Pac-10 champions, regular season champs, still a postseason tournament to go to the top 4 teams. Have to see how that's going to be divided, as it is a muffled group at the top. Xavier Edwards gets the Eagles off to a good start as he buries a 16-footer. And now the Eagles with their largest lead of the game, 33-21, just underway here in this third quarter. And Nazir Kenny in the starting lineup now. Steal by Edwards. And Edwards taking it strong to the hoop, gets the layup to go, as he's got the first 4 for the Eagles out of the half. And it is now a 14-point Eagle lead. Lions on Salata. Salata did an excellent job in the first half, creating contact, getting to the free throw line, and ball is tipped away by Nazir Kenny. As Kenny's largely come off the bench this year. Aaron Reddish, who did not start tonight, to give senior John Carbone an opportunity as a senior to start. But Reddish, just 2 points. And now the Eagles. As McKeel Allen with the basketball finds Sanford in the corner. Gives it back to Allen. Allen reverse layup up and good. Nice little give and go. Sanford to Allen. And again, head coach Mike Lugwood of the Boyertown Bears is going to call timeout. This is a full timeout, just a minute and a half into the third. 37-21 Eagles. So out of the timeout, the Eagles lead 37-21, and a prompt turnover right away, but a rejection. However, the Eagles get the ball back up and in. Xavier Edwards. And this looks like a different Eagle basketball team to start this third quarter, and clearly a reach in there, foul there on Kenny. It's just about the only thing the Eagles haven't done right in the first 2 minutes of this third quarter. But in the blink of an eye, an 11-point lead has grown to 18. So Hunter Borgman with the basketball. As this Boyertown basketball team, all 5 players capable of dribbling the basketball. They get a 17-footer that's up and no good. The floorboard comes down to Xavier Edwards. Loses his footing on the pass, and Sanford can't get the layup to go as it rolls off his hand. And a missed opportunity there for the Eagles. Layup on the other end, no good. And the Eagles looking to run again. Tyler Lyons, reverse layup, up, no good. As a track meet is broken out here at the high school. Boyertown slows it down. Probably wise. You do not want to get into a track meet with these Eagles. You will wind up on the losing end. So now Boyertown, nice little crossover there. Feet underneath, up and in. As Chris Kiefer, the beneficiary of a good pass by Mason Marinello. Edwards, going to look to break down the D, pulls up from 14, got it to go. As he's developed quite a nice little mid-range game. And he's buried a handful of little 14-footers tonight. And it's back to an 18-point lead. And another turnover as McKeel Allen comes up with the basketball, but we're going to get a foul. So it was Eagle basketball, but the foul's going to be on Nazir Kenny away from the basketball for some contact that caused the Bear to fall to the floor. So Reddish going to come into the game now for Kenny. As now it's Hunter Borgman. Gets a pick from his teammate, takes it to the hoop, layup up, no good, gets his own rebound. Another layup up and in. So Hunter Borgman, perseverance pays off, missed his first opportunity, got the offensive board and got it to go. Still a 16-point lead for the Eagles as Lions nearly a killer crossover, but lost the handle of the basketball. And it is now Mason Marinello with a basketball as he thought about a three, gets a pick, 16-footer, no good. Rebound, Reddish, and we're going to get a hold as Reddish goes to the floor. And Matthew Martin can't believe it. He thought he had all ball. But Reddish goes to the floor, and it'll be Norristown basketball. And some more substitutions now as Willie Anderson checks in for Tyler Lyons. And Willie out left field just for a second, but they do get the ball into Edwards. Edwards quickly turns, and now the Eagles ready to go offensively. Euro step. Shot is rejected. Anderson comes up with a rebound. Layup up, no good. And Hunter Borgman clears for Boyertown as they look to push the ball up the court. And his layup is no good. McKeel Allen gets it to Reddish. Reddish looks ahead to Sanford, but it's taken away by Dawson Smith. So Dawson Smith tried to go behind the back. Luckily get that basketball back. And he'll slow it up a little bit, but goes to the floor, loses the basketball. And a scrum for it comes down to the Eagles. Anderson to Reddish. Reddish, baseline, gives it up. And Eagles nearly turnover again. 17-footer off the window, no good. And a reckless set of offensive plays there by the Eagles. I don't think Coach Pinky John's very pleased with what he's seen over the course of the last minute and a half. Regardless, the Eagles lead 41-25. Corner three, up, air ball. And wrestling with the basketball, or an Eagle and a Bear. And it's going to be last touch by the Eagles. As again, a short stint for Willie Anderson is. Coach Bicky Johnson again takes a chance for a teaching moment with a young sophomore. So Roman Marinello inbound the basketball. Top of the key to Dawson Smith in the corner, back to Marinello. As it's now Barnes with the basketball. Barnes swings it over to Borgman, gets it back, and Boyertown looking to slow things up a little bit as we are under 3 minutes to play here in the third. And pump fake now on a wing three is up and good. As a good Good pump fake by Roman Marinello. Created some space, and he got a wing 3 to go. And Boyertown will not go away as they trail by just 13 now. As we have 2:37 to play, and Coach Pinky Johnson is going to call timeout as he has just not liked what he's seen offensively from the Eagles over the course of the last several possessions. Just a 30-second timeout, so we will stay with you. As the Eagles, after a slow start, have led the entire way, led by 10 at the half. And in a minute and a half into the third quarter, that lead had ballooned to 18. But a couple sloppy offensive sets by the Eagles and a layup and a 3 by Boyertown has drawn the Bears to within 13. But still the Eagles just 10 minutes plus away from Pac-10 championship and a number 1 seed in the Pac-10 tournament. And they'll certainly earn themselves another home game as they will be the number 1 seed. So Boyertown looking to create some pressure, and the Eagles lucky to maintain possession of the basketball as the pass to nobody was deflected by Boyertown. That was a safe. They looked to trap again, but Boyertown very content to stay close to the three-point line, and their pressure does get a turnover. And the pressure by Boyertown is going to earn an opportunity to draw a little bit closer as Ryan Barnes lucky to keep possession of the basketball for the Bears. And a little bit too much contact there by McKeel Allen. Just a second on Allen, third team foul. Boyertown inbound the basketball sideline left. As it is Ryan Barnes guarded closely by Tyler Lyons. Ball is deflected out of bounds. And it'll be Boyertown basketball. So Barnes barks instructions to his teammates. Hands it off to Borgman. Borgman guarded by Reddish, but another open 3 by Roman Marinello. And it is now a 10-point Norristown lead, 41-31. McKeel Allen finds Nazir Kenny. Kenny thought about the 3. He'll drive baseline instead. And his shot is up, no good, but he'll go to the free throw line. And just a second team foul for Boyertown to start this third quarter. Nazir Kenny has a pair at the charity stripe. First one's up and in. As that breaks a little 2.5 minute scoreless drought for the Eagles. It's allowed Boyertown to claw a little bit closer. 2-2, nice soft shooting by Kenny at the free throw line as Norristown looks to put some pressure on and make it difficult for the Bears to cross the timeline. And we're going to get the reach-in foul. As you can see that coming, Xavier Edwards reached in from behind. And the referees are going to have none of that tonight. Second on Edwards, team fourth. And Roman Marinello, who's buried 2 threes in the last 3 offensive possessions for the Bears and drawing this game closer. And nearly reaching in, and now getting a steal is Aaron Reddish, and he's fouled from behind by Marinello. Is Aaron Reddish, who hasn't had a great offensive night, but trying to help his mates defensively. And he'll earn the Eagles another possession. Just a minute 18 to play here in this third. And we're going to get another bump as that foul is going to be on Roman Marinello. As you can see, they try to surprise the Eagles by trapping and creating a turnover. It worked 2 possessions ago. Now they find Reddish underneath. Reddish layup up, no good. He was fouled, though. And a nice look by Lyons on the inbounds as he caught the Bears napping. So an opportunity now for Reddish, who's an excellent free throw shooter. Hopefully I just didn't put the black hat on him. And apparently I did, as he misses the first.
Checking into the game for the Bears is number 3, Dawson Smith.
Dawson Smith in for Ryan Barnes. Smith probably a little bit better dribbler, makes it easier for the Bears to get into their offensive sets. Reddish second free throw is up. It is good. So 1-2 at the free throw line for Aaron Reddish. We got $1:13 to play here in the third. It's a 13-point Eagle lead. The Bears still within shouting distance. And Biggie Johnson upset, was looking for a trap there in the corner, but the Eagles content to let the Bears cross the timeline and get set. So now, corner 3 passed up by Mason Marinello, but a turnover now. And Edwards, lucky to maintain possession of the basketball, throws it ahead. Wide open 3 in the wing, the Lions. He left it short. Floorboard comes down to Edwards, hit by his own teammate. And they're going to call traveling. And just bad luck there as Allen and Edwards collided going after the basketball. The contact caused Edwards to take an extra step and leads to a Norristown turnover. Sanford and Carbone back into the game for the Eagles. So Boyertown with the basketball. And now nearly I thought was going to be an opportunity there for Marinello as they had numbers, but they'll pull it back out and set up with just 38 seconds to play in this third quarter. Bounce pass, and we're going to have a foul on Sanford. As going after the basketball was Mason Marinello. But a foul on Sanford, and those are the ones you don't need to say. That's Marinello, even if he catches that basketball, is not in a position to do any damage offensively. 15 foul on Norristown. Now Roman Marinello with a crossover on Sanford. Sanford stays with him. Marinello to Marinello. But we have steps as Dawson Smith, guilty of traveling. And it'll be the Eagles' ball. But Sam Etheridge is going to check into the game for McKeel Allen. So we'll see what Coach Pinky Johnson wants to do with just 20 seconds left. Do they hold for one, or do they get the first opportunity they can to score? As they've been content to hold for one tonight. Sanford picks up his dribble, finds Carbone. Carbone. And now a corner 3 is up and good. Brandon Carbone on his senior night gets the 3 to go. And another 3 is in and out. As Marinello nearly buried the 3, but Brandon Carbone buries the 3 from the wing, and the senior on his senior night sends the Eagles to the fourth with a 16-point lead. 47-31 Norristown.
Make some noise for your Norristown High School cheerleaders. And make some noise as we wish them good luck as they head to sunny Orlando, Florida in just 5 days. We have the winning 50-50 raffle ticket. The winning amount is for $66. The winning number is 66-215-18. Again, that winning 50-50 raffle ticket is 66-215-18. Please go see the cheerleaders to collect your.
So we are just about ready to start this fourth quarter. The Eagles 8 minutes away from a Pac-10 championship. They lead Boyertown by 16. Led by 1 after 1. Led by 10 after 2. Outscored the Bears by 6 on a Brandon Carbone 3. Now a Marcus Sanford 3. That is up and in. Marcus Sanford wing 3. And now a 19-point lead. Largest lead of the game for the Eagles. They're going to keep the pressure on, though. And you got to keep an eye on Roman Marinello as he's a shooter. Reddish goes for the steal, can't get it. Marinello in the corner, pulls up from 17, no good. And senior Sam Etheridge comes down with a rebound. And with such a large lead now, we'll see if the Eagles want to slow it up a little bit offensively, be a little bit more deliberate, and bleed the clock a little bit. And it certainly looks out that's how they're going to do this first offensive set of the fourth quarter. Now Reddish finds Etheridge. Etheridge to the hoop. Can't get it to go. Nearly got the offensive rebound. The floorboard comes down to Dawson Smith. But Boyertown in a precarious position now, and now they turn it over. Etheridge uses the right hand. It's up and in. Oh, sorry, that was Kenny on the layup. So now Marinello. Sanford nearly read the steal. He backs off. Now thrown it underneath. Turned over again by the Bears. And I think it's safe to say the Eagles, with a 21-point lead, have taken a bit of the spirit of the Boyertown Bears. If they fought hard there for most of this game, but you can kind of see the shrugged shoulders now on the Bears. And just a formality now as the Eagles 6 minutes and 20 seconds away from a Pac-10 championship. McKeel Allen swings it over to Reddish. The Eagles in no particular hurry. And Reddish is going to dare the defender to come out. They will not. Good pass underneath, but Etheridge's shot is rejected. He gets it back, and we have a foul. As a confused look on the face of Mason Marinello, and he can't believe it. And it's the 16th foul on the Bears, so the Eagles will be shooting as Aaron Reddish, nice little pump fake, can't get the shot to go. McKeel Allen picks up the loose change, and he gets the offensive rebound up and in. And the Eagles now lead 54-31. And in picking a pocket there is Xavier Edwards. And the layup is up and good and one. And he lets Dawson Smith know about it. As Dawson Smith had his pocket picked by Xavier Edwards. And the senior will go to line for the old-fashioned three-point play. And the 17th foul. And head coach Mike Ludwig is none too happy on the sidelines, as he wants to encourage his mates. Not sure if he's talking to his teammates or the referees. If he is talking to the referees, he's surely going to get a technical foul. And we're going to get a foul on Aaron Reddish as he reaches in. And that's the 16th foul. So both teams shooting free throws from this point forward. And Carbone back into the game for the Eagles. He, of course, hit a three in the waning seconds of the third to extend the Norristown lead. Good moment for that young man. Now Marinello probably would have hoisted the three, but couldn't make catch the pass directly. Shot up and no good. Reddish is fouled, no call, and he brings Marinello to the floor. And just frustration foul there on Aaron Reddish, as he was fouled after he got that rebound, but no call by the ref. As Reddish hasn't quite had his offensive game tonight. And the 17th foul, just the first on Reddish. And Mason Marinello will go to the line. One-on-one, first one is up and in. Willie Anderson back into the game for the Eagles. He'll spell McKeel Allen. The junior's free throw is up and good. 2 of 2 for Marinello. Still a 24-point lead for the Eagles. Boyertown looks depressed, but Etheridge gets it ahead. Carbone, another open three, up just short. And the roof would have came off the place here if that falls. Now Reddish, he better watch himself as he's close to getting another foul. Now 16-footer's up, no good. Carbone gets the rebound, hands off to Etheridge. Etheridge, as he's hit from behind. And he'll go to the free throw line as Norristown is leaking out on just about every defensive possession as they have owned the boards tonight. And Boyertown, we could say, has not done a very good job of getting back defensively, as the Eagles have had numerous opportunities in transition off just regular defensive rebounds. Etheridge leaves the first free throw short. Another senior who's played sparingly, but at times for the Eagles this year. And 1 of 2 as the friendly roll goes down for Sam Etheridge. And the Eagles will look to press. Another substitution. As John Paulino into the game now, as Coach Pinky Johnson getting some of the members of the end of the bench into the game now with just 4:45 left and a 25-point Norristown lead. And Reddish deflects the basketball out of bounds, and it's last touched by Boyertown. And we'll say this for Reddish. He hasn't had his offensive game tonight, but defensively he has been a thorn in the side of the Bears. Now Willie Anderson. Great look underneath the Paulino. He hands it off to Etheridge. Carbone, another three. Rainbow up and in. As that one nearly touched the ceiling. But a second three for Carbone, a fan favorite. And the Eagles now back to a 28-point advantage. Now Boyertown. Layup up, no good. Reddish again deflects it out of bounds. It'll stay Bear basketball. And it is head coach Mike Ludwig working over the official there. And his voice, I don't know if he was hoarse coming in, but he's hoarse right now. So Boyertown down 28 underneath. Layup up, no good. And if we want to constructively criticize a team that leads by 28 points, we could say there's room for improvement for the Eagles on some of these inbounds plays underneath the basket, as Boyertown has had several easy opportunities for baskets on simple plays. This time it's Matthew Martin at the free throw line for a pair. First free throw is up and good. Two of two for Martin.
Checking into the game for the Eagles is number 24, Isaiah Kenny.
Kenny back into the game as Aaron Reddish is going to have a seat. The Bears look to press, but again, the Eagles normally don't have much of a problem when it comes to teams pressing them. However, Etheridge, a nice unselfish play, but he turned it over. And now Dawson Smith trying to do it himself, but unable to. And leads to another opportunity for the Eagles. And turned over again, but it's Carbone who's going to try to do it himself, but instead hands it off. Leads to a three for Kenny. That is way off. Carbone leans in, gets the foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. As senior John Carbone with his best offensive performance as an Eagle this year. And they're going to say he was not in the act of shooting, so 1-1 for Carbone. And Carbone, the high arcer, up, and he got the friendly roll. When it's your night, it's your night. Second is a beauty. So John Carbone, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Again, a 28-point Norristown lead. As Hunter Boardman takes it himself and gets the layup to go. Willie Anderson now trapped, but able to dribble himself out of trouble, but fouled from behind. And he'll go to the free throw line as Boyertown, their 9th team foul. Check that, their 10th team foul, so the double bonus for the Eagles from this way out. Willie Anderson Jr., of course, his father, Willie Anderson Sr., played on that great 1993 Norristown basketball team that was one of the top teams in the state. Unfortunately, lost a 17-point lead with 5 minutes to go against Upper Merion in the district final. Finished in second. Then lost in the state quarters to Chester. Disappointing ending to a team that was terrific. Now Willie Anderson Jr. trying to start his own legacy now. Gets the steal, but cannot get the layup to go. But Nazir Kenny, again, active on the offensive boards. He gets the putback up and in, and the largest lead of the game is now 29, 66-37, as we are under the 3-minute mark of this fourth quarter. In the short corner, layup up, good. Hunter Borgman bullies his way in for a layup. And Willie Anderson hands off to Kenny. Kenny gives up to Etheridge. He wants a shot at a three. It barely draws iron, but the floorboard comes down. Now Carbone. No. Layup up. Oh, nearly got it to go. And we're going to get a foul. He's trying to draw the jump ball. Instead, we're going to get a foul. And that's the 9th team foul, so another 1-on-1 for the Bears. But all academic at this point, as the Eagles are going to win this game, and they're going to win the Pac-10 regular season championship. And again, district seedings will come out shortly, but the Eagles sure to be likely a top 5 seed and earn at least what would be 2 home games in the district tournament. Cameron Metcalf gets the first free throw to go. His second is up, and it is short. And Willie Anderson quickly there to get the rebound. So Willie Anderson with the basketball to Paulino. His 12-footer's up and in. Nice soft touch for John Paulino. And back to a 28-point lead for the Eagles. Elbow jump shot up as an air ball, but the rebound comes down to Hunter Borgman. He's hit on the elbow on the putback attempt. He'll go back to the free throw line. 10th team foul on the Eagles, but he's in the act of shooting anyway. But 2 free throws for Borgman. First free throw's up and in. As we look at the Norristown lineup now, as we see players that play but play sparingly, other than Nazir Kenny, Willie Anderson does get time. And Willie Anderson with possession of the basketball, under 2 minutes to play in the fourth. Carbone to Anderson. Anderson in the corner. Etheridge loses it. As was thinking about what he was going to do when he came down with that basketball and was unable to corral it. So it'll be Bear basketball with just 1 minute and 43 seconds left to play. A 26-point Norristown lead. Again, a game that saw Boyertown out to an early lead, but Norristown was able to get the lead and keep it the whole time, just about the whole time here, as a 3 goes off the window. Bank open for a Boyertown player. 1:19 to play. 68-45 Norristown. Willie Anderson hands off to Carbone. Carbone between the legs. Looks to get it to a teammate. Finds Etheridge in the corner. Etheridge 3 is up. It is no good. Floorboard comes down to Paulino. His layup up, no good. Kenny. He is rejected. As Boyertown, the effort's still there. And the layup is up and in. As Hunter Boardman got the layup to go. And the scoreboard at the end may appear closer than it actually was, but now it looks like head coach Mike Ludwig is going to get some of his players that don't normally see time an opportunity to play the last minute of this game. So Hunter Borgman, senior, playing in his last game Gets a 3-point play to go. And gets a nice pat on the back from his head coach. Is that senior likely to... Well, he could play again if Boyertown does get a nod. They were on the fence when it came to earning a district seeding. Of course, we'll find out in a couple of days here. Just 40 seconds left as Willie Anderson content to dribble it out as he finds Paulino. Paulino in the corner. Carbone, pull up 17-footer. No good. Boyertown with a rebound. Barnes finds Marinello. Up. No good. Flying in for the rebound was Metcalf, but the rebound instead comes down to the Eagles, who have possession of the basketball with just 10 seconds left, and that's going to do it as the Norristown Eagles will dribble this one out. 5, 2, 1, and that'll do it. The Norristown Eagles are your Pioneer Athletic champions for the 2018-2019 year. Congratulations to the Eagles as they finish the regular season 18-4, 8-2 in the league, and they'll look forward to not just the district tournament, but the Pac-10 championship tournament coming up in just a few days. The final score here at the Norristown High School Gymnasium, the Eagles 68, the Boyertown Bears 48. For producer John Doyle, I'm Ian Morris. Thanks for joining us tonight, folks. Have a great night.